Good evening. There we go. All right. Another standing room only crowd in the apathetic city called Savannah. I see apathy all around me, literally. So I'm the only person who's brave enough to do this. So here's how it's going to work. Okay, it's going to take 15 seconds. The men are going to say Emergent, and then the women are going to say Savannah, and then the men are going to say Emergent, and the women are going to say Savannah. And if you're willing to throw your fist in the air, we'd like that even better. Are you ready? So men first, then women. And we're going to Emergent, Savannah, Emergent, Savannah, Emergent, Savannah. We'll do it 4 times. Ready? Here we go, men. Emergent, Savannah, Emergent, Savannah, Emergent, Savannah, Emergent, Savannah. Courtney Pappy.
That is a hard act to follow, y'all. Good evening. Welcome to the first Monday Means Community of 2016 and the 1-year anniversary of Emergent Savannah. Monday Means Community is held on the second Monday of each month. Is that better? Monday Means Community is held on the second Monday of each month and features a different topic as a way to learn more about the civic and cultural life of Savannah. And it has been a year, and thank y'all for being here for that year. Is this anyone's first time here at the Beans Night? Mercy. All right. What about at an Emergent Savannah event? Even better. Hello, welcome home. Thank you. Tonight's panel is, as mentioned, our 1-year anniversary in celebration of our 2015 social art project, What I Love About Savannah and What I Dream About Savannah. You're going to hear from 6 Savannians tonight as they tell you their loves, their hopes, and their dreams for this strange, weird, wonderful place we all call home. The evening will run for about 50 to 60 minutes, and instead of our normal Q&A, we're actually going to open up the microphone to the audience for about 2 minutes. We're going to ask you to share your hopes and your loves and your dreams for the city of Savannah. And afterwards, of course, we will head over to the American Legion. Why would we not do that? So before we begin, a few just key housekeeping details. If you aren't on our mailing list, our sign-up sheet is in the back with organizer Alex. Alex, can you hold that up? Thank you. Or you may sign up on one of the many lists hanging around on the walls. Emergent Savannah has partnered with Savannah Urban Garden Alliance, Loop It Up Savannah, and Silver Studios for one hell of a fundraising campaign this season. If you donate to one of us, it goes to all of us. For more information, you can visit the Emergent Savannah Facebook page for details, or you can pick up a flyer in the back. We also want to thank Kristen Russell and Clorin Jamerson, who own the Sentient Bean, as well as, yeah. Without them, there would be no Monday Means Community. And so tonight, instead of us asking for donations, we're asking you that if you see that donation jar right up at the front, we're filling that for them so they can go have a nice drink later after dealing with all our chaos. And if you really, really want to support them, you'll notice there are flyers all over the Bean. This Thursday at 5:30 p.m., there is the Speak Out Against the Forsyth Bike Ban. They are asking people to meet them at the north end of Forsyth Park, and they will bike through, basically, and make their way up to the City Council meeting? The Civic Center, where they hold the meeting. Our next event will be here at the Bean on Thursday, January 28th. From idea to action, a World Cafe conversation. It will start at 7 p.m. We've asked you what you love about Savannah. We've asked you what you dream for Savannah. And now we're asking you, what are you going to do to make that love and dream come true? We'll be posting more information shortly on that, so stay posted. Our next Monday Means Community is actually not going to be the second Monday of the month. It will be the third Monday of the month, and there's a good reason why. We are inviting New York Times journalist and author of Overbooked, Elizabeth Becker, to Savannah, where she will be working with Emergent Savannah the Downtown Neighborhood Association, and the City of Savannah to present a 3-day tour where she will talk to Savannahans about tourism and the tourism industry. We invite you all to come out. I think we could all learn a lot. We're going to announce that details, but we're going to have that on the 3rd Monday. But just stay posted and we'll keep you posted. If you look over to my right, you'll see one of our favorite people is back, graphic facilitator and information architect Brittany Curry. Brittany will be capturing tonight's conversation through visual imagery, and once the evening is over, we would like to invite everyone to please come up and take a look at the amazing work she is doing. We love working with Brittany, and some of our best conversations have been captured by her. We actually are really excited to see what this one's going to be like. As you know, we are also in the midst of the Martin Luther King Day celebration with the parade on Monday the 18th and several events prior to, and guess who has been chosen as Grand Marshal? Yes, thank you. I was hoping someone was going to answer. I was going to sit here and look like a ninny. Yes, Tom Kohler has been chosen as Grand Marshal of this year's parade festivities. It's also his birthday this week, so you should wish him happy birthday. I think it's on Friday, so embarrass him to hell and back. So what we are asking is for this year's festivities, we're energetically asking you and your friends to do the same. Let's make this year's MLK Day a celebration, part of the Emergent Savannah. A Savannah where everyone marches in everyone's parade. We can do that by being part of the celebration and inviting as many people as you can to join in. For more information, you can check out the MLK Day Observance Association, and there's a Facebook page by the same information. 2 more announcements, and I promise we'll begin. If you'll look over to the left, you'll notice this really lovely piece. This is a piece created by some great kids at Gould Elementary with the help of Katie Holliday and Catherine Thagard. 3rd graders at Gould Elementary created this piece after being asked what they dream for Savannah. So if you want to know what's up in the future leaders' minds, we recommend that you go right over here and check it out. Last, though certainly not least, can all my Emergent Savannah organizers stand up? One year ago, we asked the city attorney if he would come speak at the Sentient meeting, and we had no idea what was going to happen. And here we are a year later. So please give a huge thank you for Tom Kohler, Emily Earle, AJ Perez, Alex Raftery, and Betsy Bull. Thank you all for the work you do. And because I have been a very chatty Cathy, now that that is all over, please let me introduce our facilitator for the evening, a woman who I believe is a literal spark of magic. She is the resident Muse, founder and director of Muse Arts Warehouse, a nonprofit organization committed to community building through the arts by providing a venue that is available, affordable, and accessible to individual artists, arts organizations, and the public. Please give a warm round of applause for Jinhee Susi.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes. Am I coming in? Awesome. How's everybody feeling? Pretty good. It's nice and cool outside. Definitely thank you to Tom and Coco and everybody for inviting me to host tonight. And part of the perks that I get is that aside from seeing all of you here, this is very exciting to see so many of you here and so many familiar faces. A little bit louder. I am so happy to see you, Tom. I just wanted to start by saying that since Tom has gotten my attention, that I moved here in the fall of 1992, almost entirely thanks to Tom Kohler and Jim Holt and City Lights Theater Company. And I have been working in Savannah. Very quickly, within 4 years, I realized that this was the place that I would call home. And this was I say later that this is the place that calls me baby. And you will hear me say that a lot, that I live in a town that calls me baby every single day. I was saying that I came here from all over the world, and having lived in 21 different places and countries and states before I was 18 years old, I had lost my coat, as well as a few other things along the way in this life. And when I came to Savannah, Savannah took one look at me, and she opened her arms, and she called me baby. I love the family-style community of Savannah. I love the rhythm and the sway of Savannah. People moving in, people moving out, is the heart beating, the legs getting stronger. The people of Savannah. I love the people of Savannah, the colors of Savannah and her people, our people. All of the nuances and peculiarities in the millions and millions of shades and tones of green in Savannah. From the bright green, thirsty green, a green so green it creates oxygen that we breathe, it's coming from our marshes, to the grayest green moss that reaches down to us from years gone by, creating shadows that look like arms and hands to hold, while the deep, dark, tender, rich greens coming up from the earth to catch us, to rest our head, to feed us, to teach us, to inspire us, to continue our culture. Those are our children. I love the rhythm, I love the colors. I was drawn in by the family of Savannah, the city that calls me baby. The neighborhoods, the ages, the age, the children, the dancers, the artists, the pace, the rhythm, the beauty, community, food, collaboration, diversity, culture from the ground, Spanish moss, live oak trees, marshes, the greens and the shades and the shadows and the mystery, the inspiration, the mac and cheese, quirky, the effect of visitors and transplants and orphans, and the effect that it all has on our children. These are the things that I love about Savannah. Anybody who knows me knows that at any given time I'm ready to drop everything and go on and on and on about the things I love about Savannah. I look out and I am bringing up the walls of hope sometime tonight. Are you guys familiar with the Walls of Hope? Anybody? I really want to encourage you to, if you have a Facebook page, to go and find Walls of Hope, because part of what I think we're all here trying to encourage is people from within our community, our different communities, our diverse communities, reaching out to each other and getting a little idea of how things are from other perspectives, how many different ways you can look at a situation, and what can we do about it. Walls of Hope is it's a project that is currently just really almost like fallen from the clouds. A project, a collaboration between the artist that Panhandle Slim and some other civic organizers and leaders, and they are spreading good, important, healing art onto public walls throughout our city. And I think having the chance to speak tonight, it was sort of, I don't know how we cannot be aware of that effort, and I do encourage you to go like the page on Facebook. That was my love. I love Savannah, and but that's not why we're here. We're here because we have this amazing panel that I am so incredibly proud to be presenting tonight, with their loves and their dreams for Savannah. And we are going to start with Artist Wood. She's the founder of Victorian Lady Tours, has served on the board of Scenic Georgia, is an affiliate of Scenic America, and has served as president of the Ardsley Park Chatham Crescent Neighborhood Association, Ardsley Park Chatham Crescent Garden Club, Savannah's Lighting Task Force, and the Victory Plan Overlay. She has been awarded the Lee and Emma Adler Award for Preservation Advocacy, and above all honors is the longtime Savannian. So Artist Woods, everybody.
Now I can control the location. What energy, what synergy, what possibilities we have in this room. I'm amazed and very impressed. Thank you for being here. What I love about Savannah. Well, first of all, let's define Savannah. For many, it's the 1 square mile of the landmark historic district. When visitors ask me what my favorite thing is here, I say, well, you know, we have great house museums, gorgeous urban forests, fine restaurants, and temperate weather. But by far the top thing is Oglethorpe's city plan, in my opinion. And it's just as wonderful today as it was almost 300 years ago when it came. Consider how it works. The plan creates neighborhoods, built-in communities called wards. Note the mixed income residential buildings, at least till recently. Low-income folks lived in carriage houses, middle-income tithing lots, the wealthy on the trust lots. The pedestrian plan is human-scaled, where no streets were widened or cut into tree lawns until recently for tour buses in front of hotels. The practicality of the lanes is marvelous. It hides the ugly stuff. Garbage cans, overhead wires, and pickup and delivery. A park is the center for each ward, where neighbors can meet, a place of natural beauty that exemplifies democracy perfectly, because whether you are a prince or a pauper, you can enjoy these places equally. Oglethorpe constructed 4 wards. We liked them so much we added 20 more. But let's not forget that there are 69 other square miles and many other neighborhoods, and we must maintain and improve all of them. Now here's what I dream for Savannah. Top of the list, restore the 2 lost wards with Elbert and Liberty Squares. I'm glad you agree. The buildings that replaced them are way out of scale, with a prison-like character, built at a time when federal buildings were required to be built downtown to beef up urban renewal and get people back into the town center. Well, that's certainly been done in spades. Too expensive? Look what the restoration of Ellis Square produced. A high-end hotel, the beautiful K building, lots of new businesses in the city market area, and a large underground parking facility. Second, I want a bold long-term plan, key word, plan, for a lot of things, but also for replacing these federal buildings on a site that will accommodate them and the required parking they need. The arena is going, and the Johnny Mercer building, I think, should go too, to a place where they can certainly have a little breathing room and parking and plenty of space to move out. Third, I want all citizens to notice the public environment and demand that we enforce laws to keep it wonderful. When the business community says that they must have moving digital signs on premise, balloons on cars, tall feather banners, bandit signs, and sandwich boards, and parking on sidewalks, we must say they're all illegal, and they are, and enforce those laws. How do we do it? We simply model the parking services, where offenders just send a fine in instead of having to appear in court, which is cumbersome and doesn't work. People must understand that beauty is good for business. It's a fact that shoppers spend more and stay longer in good-looking commercial areas. Fourth, I want a commitment to focus on the beautification restoration of the frames of our blocks, which are comprised of curbs, trees in tree lawns, and sidewalks. Please know that I give a PowerPoint program, by the way, about beautification in the civic realm. It's free of charge to any group that would like. Fifth, remove the west side overpass and use the land it is on to extend the grid pattern of streets with green spaces and mixed-use development. And finally, you hear that, sir? Finally, I want all new development to give us real Savannah with a sense of place. No more cookie-cutter franchise buildings and signs. Not necessary. The latest builder wants to tear down Johnny Harris Restaurant. This is what I have to say to him. Savannah is a special place because it's real, not any place USA or a theme park. Real comes from integrating the best of the past with the present and the future. Examples: a new hotel integrated into the old Georgia power plant, the Children's Museum integrated into the rail complex, the Kehoe factory being recycled into a present-day usage, the Globe at Durin and White Bluff being the centerpiece of a plan for that development, the Bryce Inn, adapted from a real livery stable, fine restaurants and shops in real old cotton warehouses and factors' offices, the 1771 Pink House, which has been a residence place to foment revolution, bank, bookstore, tea room, and restaurant. These are real places. My husband graduated from Savannah High and went off to college like many. When they returned for holidays, there wasn't even a question about where to rendezvous with their buddies. Just go to Johnny Harris and they'd be there. He was still going to Johnny's 50 years later. It was an extension of home, full of warm memories and friends. Last week I was there. A lady was in tears as she paid her bill, thinking about this place being gone. Said she, "I've been coming here for 70 years." Mr. Developer, see the mural painted by a man released from prison, whom Johnny employed for room and board. Notice the mirrored pillar with soft globe lights at the top. Imagine all the intimate conversations and business deals that have taken place in the booths. Treasure this building and integrate it into your shopping center. Sincerely, a citizen who loves and works to protect and beautify a very special place called Savannah. Thank you.
I am very, very pleased to present the next speaker, who I think I had only seen on TV. And Andre Massey, Woodfield Tompkins High School student, and he was chosen to represent the Deep Center's Young Authors Project, right? And I was so proud of you and the entire organization on that. They won the 2015 National Arts and Humanities Youth Program Award for this program that they had, and Andre was invited to the White House to speak by the First Lady, and. Here it says that last year Andre wrote Father, a poem that expressed his frustrations with his parents. And it was a poem that I think he expected it to just be inside a little book and not many people would read it. And look at him now. Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Massey.
I want to first start off by saying I also have more than one poem out. I'm just currently well known for just one. But I just wanted to make sure they get out there and make sure they get on the website right. Okay. I also want to start by saying thank you, Courtney, for this opportunity. Oh, you louder? Okay, thank you, Tom. Okay, y'all can hear me back there too? All right. Okay, so let's just start. Well, Savannah. Oh, I felt disrespectful. Good evening, my bad. It's all the way up. Okay. What is it about our beautiful city that I love? Honestly, at first, being born and growing up here, I never could grasp the concept of why so many people love to visit here. I can remember riding in the car with my mom or dad, and I just was questionable about, well, what do people want to see here? There's nothing here. I see the same thing every day. What's so great about it? So, like once or twice a week, my family, well, me, my dad, my sisters, and my mother get together and have game night. Play games like Uno, the game of life, stuff like that. Just have fun and enjoy each other. So one day, I asked my mom, well, Mama, what's so great about Savannah that everyone loves so much? Then my dad, you know, he's the genius, right, Dad? Yep, yeah. Okay. He jumped in and said, well, son, I'ma tell you. Savannah was once the capital of Georgia, the state capital, right? Okay, right. And then I thought he was just joking with me, trying to be funny. Like how really us being, well, Savannah being a capital, not likely not gonna happen. So then I looked it up. I stopped the game, pulled up my tablet and looked it up. And there it was in black and white. Yes, Savannah was the first capital of Georgia. It's actually the oldest city in Georgia. It's being established in 1733. Then I thought, Savannah is old. I never knew it was that old. Like then my mama started talking and was like, you know, by it being built, people died and were just buried inside the ground. So I was thinking about it and I was like, that mean I walk on people? And she was like, well, yeah. I was like, that's nasty. Still thinking about it. Wow. Okay. Many historical monuments. Savannah is believed to have been named by James Oglethorpe. The first people to actually settle here was the Indian tribe known as the Yamacraws. See, now it makes sense. Yamacraw village. Oh, get it. And they were led by Tamachichi. It was said that because of Tamachichi and James Oglethorpe's friendship, that's what led to the flourishing of Savannah. Now, our history here is so rich. To know it is to love it. Like the Underground Railroad that was used to help slaves escape, with one of its stopping points being here at the First African Baptist Church. I never knew that existed until I started looking all this up. I never knew how many times I passed by it. I was like, oh, wow, what have I been doing? I felt like I wasn't appreciating my city enough. So that's when I just went home, I started looking up more stuff. And I found out a lot of interesting stuff about where I live. Like, it's an honor just living here. One of the stories I came across that was very interesting to me was the story about a lady named Florence Martis. Florence Martis is also called the Waving Girl. Now, I thought, like, she waved a couple flags here and there and got credit. But I actually looked into it, and there are many stories about her. So Florence Martis, she was a woman who, she stayed in Savannah long ago, and she fell in love with a sailor, like, far away from here. So every day, when the ships passed by, she waved a cloth around to get his attention, saying, babe, I'm here, come get me. But, I read he never showed up. So she got a dog, and now it's a statue. I'm serious. It's a statue in Savannah with her and her dog. If you don't believe me, go look. I promise. Okay. Another one of my favorite statues is the most recent. It's the one. It's like a globe split in half. And actually, it's a story, telling about how World War II was, it separated us. We were divided up. And the most interesting fact was when I walked inside and looked in the inside, it was the people's name who served in World War II that lived in Chatham County. And I was like, that's a lot of people. It was an amazing sight to see. And if you go look at it, it's not only a value to see it, it helps you better value life. Like the people gave the ultimate sacrifice, and because of them, I'm actually here to use my voice as a source of power to get a message out. So I actually want to thank them and their families, even though I don't know them right now. So thank you, guys. One second, I got it. That's a little. Okay. Oh, I'm ready. Okay. Now I'm going to shift gears just a little bit. I am a young 14-year-old man. Many would say that I'm a young black African American male. But when I look out amongst the audience, I see no color, only gender. I pointed out some wonderful facts about our beautiful city dating back to the beginning of time. Now let's fast forward. Do you see what's going on? You see? There's a lot of negativity here. And it's supposedly harder for me in some way, which I don't get. The color of my skin makes me an easy target, which I highly disagree with. I even stated one time, we don't all get shot. Like some of us actually do successful things. And people took me in as an example. I didn't take myself in as an example till later. I was paying attention to the stuff I was doing, but I was actually sending out a positive message. And my parents actually played an important part in that role. I actually want to give my mom credit, because me coming out, I actually don't thank her as much as I should. So thank you, Mom, even though you couldn't be here today. So I just want to thank her. Let's clap. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Daddy, too. My bad. That's my dad right there, guys. As I'm about to quote, Savannah Chatham County's public school graduation rate skyrockets to 81.3%. Now, that was from 2015. So we actually have a long way to go. Unfortunately, that was one of the highlights compared to all of the homicides that have taken place previously and thereafter. This city, our city, that has so much unique history, that brings in tourists, which with our crime rate out of control, we are at risk of losing them in our city if we come together and save it. Some of you may have children, grandchildren, or maybe planning to start a family here. Now, think about it. I'm not saying Savannah is bad. Now, nowhere is safe. But with the way we're living now, would you really want to start a family here? I love it here, but our crime everywhere is just terrible, period. And one day, me being so curious, I asked my mother, Mom, if you knew this was going to happen, would you have raised us here? She looked at me saddened and said, no, son, especially not you. So, I thought about that, and I was like, well, that was deep. Maybe you should write too. So, yeah, she actually helped me prepare the speech after that. Needless to say, I wasn't actually shocked when she gave me the answer. I always knew how caring and loving she was towards me, and her and my dad always wanted the best for me and my sisters. And, I'm actually trying to live up to their expectations. Dad, am I doing a good job? Yeah. After, hearing about every negative thing that has happened in Savannah, as far as, gunshots, not even gunshots, robberies, things like that. Like the schools I went to before I went to Woodville were very poor schools. Like we had like bank robberies like around us all the time. Like school had to get interrupted for us to go outside and get on the ground, stuff like that. So I never planned for myself to be where I am today because of what I was and what I was doing. So I'm actually proud of myself for making a greater outcome and continuing to prove people wrong, saying, you know, that I can be more than what people respected of me to be. Okay. All right, I'm about to get off, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm just gonna get. Okay. Now, I also want. Oh, Dare. I'm sorry. I did not thank you, but thank you for keeping me off the streets. Period. If you didn't help me find my writing, I don't know where I would be today. So thank you. I'm gonna clap for you. Okay, everybody get off. Okay, now, I think it's up to us as a community to work together to show the positive side of Savannah and fix all of our wrongs today. So thank you.
Thank you, Andre, and to the Deep Center, Dare, and all of the other organizations in our town that are providing alternatives to our young people in Savannah. It's not just a matter of keeping them off the street, it's giving them something that they can do and that they can use and that will help make them stronger. And I'm in great appreciation of all of it. Our next speaker is Wade Herring. I keep turning around and I know it's Wade Herring. Yeah. Herring is partner in the Savannah office of Hunter McLean and represents businesses and management. Herring's practice focuses on all aspects of employment problems and issues. He is admitted to practice in the Georgia Supreme Court, the Georgia Court of Appeals, the U.S. Supreme Court, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th and 5th Circuits, and the U.S. District Courts for the Southern, Middle, and Northern Districts of Georgia, as well as a fellow of both the American Bar Association and the Lawyers Foundation of Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, Wade Herring.
I am honored to be asked to talk about Savannah, even though I am not from Savannah. I have lived here since 1985, but I am not from Savannah. I have lived here for almost 31 years, but I am not from here. I have worked in the same place downtown for over 30 years. I've gone to the same dental office for 29 years. The same man has cut my hair for 26 years. I've attended the same church for 24 years. I've lived in the same house for 19 years. But I am not from Savannah. I was born in Munich, Germany because my dad was in the United States Army and my mom went there to be with him. I left Munich when I was 3 years old. I have no memories of Munich. I have no connection to Munich. But if the Savannah Morning News staff were still writing the obituaries, and if I lived to be 90 years old, my obituary would start this way. Wade Herring, a native of Munich, Germany, later moved to Savannah and only lived there for the last 64 years of his life. I dream of a day when no one will say, "You're not from here, are you?" I dream that no one will say, "We've never done it that way here before." Or even worse, we tried it that way once, but it didn't work. Sometimes you love something for what it is not. I love Savannah because she is in Georgia. I am grateful to be in Georgia and not in Alabama. Just like folks in Alabama are grateful to be in Alabama and not in Mississippi. Mississippi is grateful for Guatemala. But with rising literacy rates in Guatemala, Mississippi is looking for another foreign country to be grateful for. I am grateful to be in Georgia and not in Florida, which has officially replaced California as the nuttiest state in the United States. I am grateful not to be in South Carolina, which is too small for a state and too large for an insane asylum. I am grateful to be in Georgia, but I am also grateful Savannah is Savannah and not many other places in Georgia. Places like Waycross, or Albany, or Augusta, or Garden City, or Pooler, or Rankin. If you drive around this state, it is easy to see why AMC picked Georgia to film a television series about the post-zombie apocalypse. I am grateful Savannah is not Jacksonville, which is the redneck capital of South Georgia. I am grateful that Savannah is not Charleston, and I dream that we get over our inferiority complex in Charleston. Charleston is older, larger, and wealthier, but she is still in South Carolina. And Charleston stuff does too stink, even if they will tell you it does not. Charleston is a place that brags about starting the Civil War and then tries to get cute about it, calling it the war between the states. Let's name it for what it was: an armed insurrection against the United States, fought for the goal of preserving slavery. By conservative estimates, 620,000 Americans died in the Civil War. As a proportion of today's population, that would be the same as if 6 million Americans died today. You don't brag about starting a civil war and then try to get cute about it. My ancestors fought and died for the Confederacy. They went to war because of honor and dignity and fear and all the complex reasons that compel men to go to war. I do not want to cover up history. I do not want to cover up monuments. I do not want to tear down statues. But I dream of the day when all Southerners stop fighting the Civil War. Through the lens of history, we know it was not a glorious cause for the South. Gone with the Wind is a fictional movie, not a documentary. Let the past please be the past, and then let's get on with the 21st century. I did fall in love with Savannah. I love her squares and green spaces. I love the canopy of trees and the Spanish moss. I love her history and architecture. I love that she's on the coast. I love Savannah's summer heat when she makes the sweat drip slowly down your spine and then lower still. I love that Savannah loves to have a good time. I love her churches and that she has people of faith. I love that Savannah celebrates and embraces eccentric characters. I love that SCAD is here and Gulfstream and the port. I love that people love to visit here and then want to stay here. I love that Savannah's charm and beauty is known all over the world. But love can be fleeting. One day you're in love with Savannah, you can't believe how happy she makes you feel. And then one morning you wake up next to her lying there and you look at her as if for the very first time. Savannah is dirty and trashy and drinks too much. If the wind blows the wrong way, she stinks. Savannah likes to play with guns and hurt people. She sells herself cheap for hotels and minimum wage jobs. Savannah thinks the pinnacle of culture is to dress up in green, get drunk, and have a parade on March 17 while pervy women of a certain age molest young boys in military uniforms. What the hell did you ever see in Savannah? But then you realize you got to dial back all that negativity. You got to turn down that disgust-o-meter. Take deep breaths and put away the fear. Ain't nobody perfect. You got to take the good with the bad and even the ugly. Once the glow of infatuation is faded, you got to remember why you fell in love with Savannah in the first place and then find a new way to love her. Life ain't all or nothing at all. You got to compromise. That's not settling. That's life. But still, you can dream of a world-class public school system, of good-paying jobs, of clean streets, of safe streets, of long-term vision and planning, of realizing that a city is a place where democracy can still work, where action and hope can meet the street. I dream of a community built on hope and possibility and generosity, looking forward with faith that the best is yet to come.
Our next speaker will be Jessica Mathis. Jessica is a research assistant at Mixed Greens with the Forsyth Farmers Market. It's an organization that was founded by a group of citizens that strives to build a welcoming community around the Forsyth Farmers Market and the surrounding neighborhood, as well as provide opportunities for connection and contribution for people with and without disabilities. Mathis is also a tour guide at the Davenport House Museum, and she writes a blog. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Mathis.
Hello, this is my speech for the Emergent Savannah anniversary. Some of the things that I love about Savannah is its history, the people, the Sentient bean, egg sandwiches, croissants, and green tea, art stores. Some of the things that I dream for Savannah are more access to healthy food, social and job opportunities, a greater unity between civic, nonprofit, and community leaders in the Savannah area, more ramps and transportation in the Savannah area. All right. With all that I dream for Savannah, I hope that this city will not just be known as a little town, but as a place that serves, takes into account all the resources of citizens and people and opportunities for greater development in Savannah.
Thank you, Jessica. And following Jessica, we have another Jessica, who I adore. Jessica is the community editor and civil society columnist for Next Savannah. She's been writing about interesting people, vexing issues, and anything involving free food for more than 20 years. She introduces herself at cocktail parties as Southern by marriage. And I actually met Jessica during a protest. And that's how we first clamped onto each other. And I would also like to add that she makes a beautiful bone broth and various other kinds of soups for her friends in need. So, Jessica Lemos, please.
Call you baby too. Ginny. Congratulations to Emergent Savannah, first of all, for a year. You guys are doing really important work here. This is, I mean, having everybody here is, it's pretty incredible, because I felt like when I moved here, that wasn't here, but I'll tell you about it a little bit. Good evening, everybody. When I first came to Savannah almost 20 years ago, I saw it with the starry eyes of a tourist. I was enchanted by fairy tale architecture, moss curtains, and trees so old and grand that I was sure they could tell me the city's secrets if I listened hard enough. Invited by one of its own handsome sons, I traipsed along 300-year-old cobblestones and blotted my forehead in the dewy weather I often visited in October, to-go cup in hand. Back then, Savannah was a tipsy museum, a long-distance fling, a Southern Gothic booty call that never disappointed. And then I married it. It's been a decade that Savannah and I have made our union official. I've been married to him longer, but that's a whole other story. As in any enduring marriage, love comes in layers. As the people in this room know and understand, there's much more to value here underneath the stylized gloss of those love at first sight images splashed on all the fancy travel articles and internet lists. As I've made a life, raised my kids, and aim to have a positive effect on my corner of the world, there are some quieter qualities that keep me entranced. I love the views from the tops of the parking garages and how violets grow in the cracks of the sidewalks. I love that the best walks in town are through the cemeteries and that the ghosts all seem to be friendly. I love that in a single stretch of eavesdropping outside the Bean, I can overhear hipsters giving restaurant advice, kids bragging about who's seen more rainbows that day, and a pair of old ladies reminiscing about how 52nd Street used to be the edge of town. I love that in this small town in the Deep South, there are long-standing traditions of religious tolerance and queer acceptance and creative expression. I love the passionate advocacy for public art, for social justice, for locally grown food, for racial equanimity. I love how we talk about Savannah like she's an elegant but maybe slightly slutty and alcoholic old aunt, praising her quirky, elegant hospitality and scolding her to get your shit together when she goes off the rails. I love that many who live here take responsibility for the city's cultural and economic difficulties as their own personal challenges, helping others, volunteering their time, and giving. I love Savannah's capacity to reinvent itself again and again, and how it allows its denizens to do the same. Where else could a hippie Jewish mother from California become a Southern belle of Savannah society? I've even learned to love the humidity and the bugs and the grit, knowing that they contribute to an ever-fertile environment for growth, for the azaleas and the camellias, for the early tomatoes and late fall peppers, for the ideas and the innovation. I like to think what I dream for Savannah is what most of us dream for Savannah, that the mystery and majesty lauded out in the world is equaled by a pragmatic reality here at home. The Savannah of my dreams is a hardworking and honest spouse, continually calibrating its cultural diversity, economic productivity, and environmental responsibilities. It is a place that supports clean industry and invests in a future with a fiber optic grid and other technological infrastructure. Mr. Jones, we've talked about that. A place that protects and defends its water supply, salty, fresh, and aquifer bound. It's a place where elected officials and tax-paid staff do their jobs with alacrity and purpose, where the public transportation system runs on time, on biodiesel, and with integrity, where the street sweeper machines actually remove debris instead of just spreading it around. My dream Savannah supports a school system where children's well-being and education are the priority, and a Savannah that supports a street culture so full of compassion and communication that it renders retaliation by gunfire irrelevant. My dream Savannah is a community that values every single one of its people as deserving of liberty and justice and dignity and love. I dream of a Savannah that becomes more beautiful on the surface and more storied in its depths every year. And I dream that one day, maybe on a perfect, breezy afternoon in October, I'm going to stretch out under one of those live oaks and look up into its gnarled branches, and it's going to tell me all the things I've yet to know.
And last but not least, a lady that I had the honor to meet very early in my, is this on? Can you guys hear me? Okay, early on in my time here in Savannah. Regina Thomas. Regina Thomas is a former Democratic member of the Georgia State Senate representing the 2nd District. She was also a member of the Georgia House of Representatives. Yes. And she comes into town often, and I tend to run into her at many of the community and cultural events over the years, over 20 years. So, ladies and gentlemen, Regina Thomas.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday, happy 1st anniversary, Emergent Savannah. I am indeed excited and delighted to be here, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. Tom, I'm going to be through before 8 o'clock. I'm going to tell you like Elizabeth Taylor told her 8th husband, and I shan't keep you long either. Savannah is my home. I love Savannah. I've gone other places, tried to live, and I always wanted to come back home. And there is no shame in coming back home. I love the location and the travel. You can get anywhere in Savannah within 30 minutes. I don't care whether you're going to Pooler where they say it's cooler, or whether you're going out Southside Georgetown. I love the weather. It is good to have change from time to time. It's going to be 29 or 28 degrees tonight. Cover those plants, pests, and please keep your people in. I love the cultural diversity. I love the fact that we can celebrate and that we can respect the way other people live. I love the parks and the squares. As a matter of fact, I see Tom and Wade going around Forsyth Park from time to time whenever I come out. I love the food. I like to eat. Savannah is slow enough to retire and is fast enough not to be bored. My dream for Savannah is that there's more inclusiveness from politicians to the haves and the have-nots, to abate hunger and homelessness. I have a dream that one day we can take that old Sears and Roebuck building. First time I ever went in that building, I wanted some water, and I went to drink from a fountain. And I was told, you can't drink out of that fountain. And I said, why not? It's water, it's coming out. There are 2 fountains, why can't I drink out of this fountain? I dream that one day we can all work in harmony across racial lines, political lines, religious beliefs, and businesses, where all truly means all, and not just a feel-good saying. There are times when people say, well, this is for everybody, and this is all for all. Well, I can tell you all does not mean all. And when people say that, they don't really mean it. They want to sound good. My dream is where each and every child will have access to some of the better schools. All schools are equal, with opportunities to attend quote or unquote preferential schools. I dream that one day the CD students will have the same opportunities as the AB students. I dream that when I walk around Forsyth Park, when I'm tired and I'm breathing hard, that smokers don't come around blowing smoke in my face. I dream that all dog owners will truly clean up how many times I've done a hop and a skip while I'm walking around the park. I dream that there is truly a living wage. Where mothers don't have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. So they can be there for their children when they need them. I dream that our educational facilities have more people in them than our jail and correctional facilities. I dream where Comcast will stop gouging its customers and users. My dream for each and every one of us, that we can live in harmony, that we can have good health and access to health care, that we can have prosperity without robbing and stealing and taking from somebody else. I dream that we all can be health conscious, eat the right foods, think the right things, and go to right places. I dream for each and every one of us that 2016 will be much better than 2015. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we get the entire panel to stand up, please, and maybe for another round of applause? Okay, so exciting. And again, congratulations, Emergent Savannah, on your year anniversary and birthday and all that. We've heard the love and the dreams about Savannah from our panel, from our fantastic panel. At the start of this, I gave my love. I have a very quick dreams. And then after that, we are going to open up the floor to a few of you. You will be given 2 minutes to fill us in on what you love about Savannah and what you dream for Savannah. Okay. And don't worry, I never make sense, so follow me if you can. I dream that we can continue. I want to say before this that I think this is very important right now in Savannah, and it kind of touches upon how I ended my love of Savannah and the shades of Savannah. Something came about over the last few years that I feel caught people by surprise. And that surprise caught me by surprise. And it basically was like we were all sitting at the dinner table and somebody brought up a subject and everybody said, we don't talk about that here. But then they kept talking. And then some true colors came out. But here's, I dream that we continue to find even more ways to source the arts and the artists and the culture and the communities to lead discussions like this one that have only just begun about the diverse perspectives within our community on racial issues, security, education, and the importance of mentoring. And then I dream we go even further and discuss within our even more diverse perspectives what are possible solutions for all that. And then I dream that we go even further into the racial issues within the racial issues. That the racial issues within the racial issues that are within our communities. Because though there are those that will try to avoid admitting it, try to avoid talking about it at the dinner table, and feel that they have nothing to say, we're going to have to go through it. I do dearly dream that we continue this conversation, that the new city council and the new mayor will be proactive in this. Continue the conversation. We've opened it up. The conversation has started. We're going to have to go through it. We're going to have to go through it because there ain't no way around it or over it or under it. And I dream that the artists of every medium will rise, as well as our children, for they are our leaders. Our children are our future leaders. They will know the way. They know the way. And they will beat the drums, and we will fly all of our colors. We're thinking that maybe if we put the mic down here, if there's anybody who would like to step up and share with the family your loves, your dreams. Yes, Mrs. Miriam.
Since I'm Mallory, I think we should introduce our new Alderman, Bill Durham.
Would you like to share what you love about Savannah and what you dream for Savannah? Very nice.
Thank you.
2 minutes.
No. I have the mic now, Tom. And I've had a mic for a year, and I'm kind of tired of having a mic.
Yeah.
I guess that probably the easiest thing, although it'll sound like a cop-out, is to echo all the things that we've heard so far tonight. I love Oglethorpe's plan. I love this city that is my home. I am from here. And I can come up with a lot of specifics like everybody has tonight, but I'm a photographer. So the things that I'll mention are 68 years of little vignettes. The way the sunlight on a hot summer day filters through the Spanish moss in Forsyth Park. Staring at a pattern of reflections in the Savannah River while it slowly hypnotizes me and keeps me standing there indefinitely. Or watching a freighter leaving Savannah's harbor, heading toward the sea, and thinking about where that boat might be going, some unknown destination, and thinking of the lyrics from Moon River. Because I grew up here, as a young person certainly, and well into my early adulthood, I dreamed of being somewhere else. I suppose like a lot of young people. And then I had the opportunity to do that. I spent the last 27 years traveling the world. And one of the things I love now is that I'm able to stay home and be more a part of this community. I love watching the disk of the sun break the horizon, standing at North Beach, at Tybee. I love 5:30 Friday afternoons when all of my neighbors gather in Washington Square to just hang out with our dogs and our kids and just visit and chat. I love an early foggy morning in Washington Square, or twilight when the lights are starting to come on a rainy, misty evening in Washington Square. And one of my favorite things about Savannah, something that I noticed many years ago, and I can't quite explain it, but from around 5 o'clock until about 7 o'clock in the afternoons, the city takes on a hush. There's this quiet pause between the day and the night, and it's always struck me. It's just something I love about this place. As for my dream, well, I probably spent most of last year talking a lot about that. Again, I mostly echo the kinds of things that we've heard up here today. I would like to see us begin to strive toward our potential as a city. We have so much to offer. Roger Moss, most of you probably know, has a great quote, and I like to credit him for this because I think it's wonderful, and I don't want to take credit for it. In case you don't like it, I don't want to take credit for it. Roger says, Savannah is a great location, or would be a great location for a great city. I think he's absolutely right. We've got so much potential, we've got so many assets, we've got so much going for us. I'd like to see us really start hitting our stride and becoming that 21st century city where we do have fiber optic and all the other things that can make us progressive, but without ever losing the things that make us special, like events like this and our penchant for storytelling and quirkiness. So, thank you all.
Anybody else? I see some shuffling. Come on up.
Hello, I am Dr. Kim Keebler. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I just want to say I'm local, not native. And everybody's talking about dreaming, but the reality is the Affordable Care Act has hit us. And we cannot afford as a community to not come together to improve the health care for our city and for those that are underserved and don't have insurance. One of the things that I'm bringing to this town in March is a free opportunity for a Train the Trainer program with the Agency for Healthcare Policy and Research from the federal government to help providers and the community learn how to be healthy together. And we're bringing in leaders from Washington, D.C. to talk about the Affordable Care Act and how it's going to affect your health care and how you're going to be healthier as we move forward in the years to come. 10,000 baby boomers a day are entering into the Medicare healthcare system. We can't continue to afford 75% of the population that have more than one chronic disease. So as a community, we have to support health and we have to support wellness. And together we can also determine how we're going to live well as we grow older. Thank you.
Who else would like to speak about your loves and your dreams for Savannah? Yes, you.
I dream for Savannah that there will be even more opportunities for people to try things, particularly regarding the arts, particularly regarding public art. Public art. I also dream for Savannah a place in which we can have constructive conversations about what gentrification looks like and what the real Savannah looks like in the face of such a forceful migration of things that apply to tourists and tourists only. I also dream for Savannah a place or a dialogue where we can talk constructively about the effects of gentrification in regards to racism and in regards to the way our community is structured and in regards to the way resources reach the people that matter most, the people who have always been here, and in most cases, Black people and people of color who aren't given the opportunities to see the Savannah that the tourists see on the bus, which is quite unfortunate.
everyone. I'm Lisa Junkin Lopez. I'm the executive director of the Juliette Gordon Low Birthplace. And so I believe, of course, that this city belongs to the girls. And my dream is that we would honor the legacy of Juliette Gordon Low here in her own hometown by becoming a city that does more to empower girls and women than any other city in the nation. We know that when we give women and children economic opportunity, that the entire community thrives. So that's what I would like to see, and I think we can make it happen.
Okay, everybody, we have time for one more. One more person? Oh, yes.
Hello everybody, my name is Joseph. A lot of people know me as Solo Around. I'm a member of Savannah's small but much needed hip hop community. I also love Emergent Savannah. I ask great questions at every event because somebody has to. But what I love about Savannah is that I go to poetry shows at the Muse because they rock, and they're on Louisville Road, go see them. I come here on the second Monday of every month for Emergent Savannah. I go to salsa classes. I am part of hip hop night. I go to punk rock shows. I go to burlesque shows. I go to art exhibits. I march with the art. Go look at my bumper sticker. When you see me riding around in that blue S10 with the bag full of bumper stickers, that's me. That's me. So, and I support all those places. But I say that to say though, I was raised here, you know, and I love this place. But you know, and that's what I love, you know, just everything I can find here. And once I came across Victory and found it, and I feel like it loves me and I love it. But what I dream for Savannah is a place that doesn't, you know, that isn't scared downtown because I drink Hennessy and I listen to rap music, and I want to have an establishment where I can go there to do that because, you know, that's what I like. And I don't mind listening to punk rock and all that, but you know, that's what and so I said it to say, I dream for a place that, you know, is more accepting of everything and doesn't, you know, just homogenize an area to try to focus on the profit or whatever, because we all live here, we all care, we all want that, you know, to be ours and theirs or whatever. So I said it to say, I dream that we just crush those boundaries and stop looking at each other with these stereotypes and give more hugs because they rock too. Love y'all.
That's it. We're headed over to the American Legion. Thank you and good night.